Rookie Profile Series is back with somebody that I love, John loves, and I gotta tell you, if you don't already love him, you're probably gonna fall in love with him throughout rookie draft season, and that is North Carolina running back Omarion Hampton. He's a big back, and I think he's gonna translate to fantasy football value in a big way. If you learn even one thing about him from this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and drop us a comment. Let us know how early you're willing to draft Omarion Hampton, because John, I know you're willing to draft him pretty early.
Matt, you know that I love my big backs with power and speed. And Omarion Hampton, I fell in love with him over last summer, and he exceeded all my expectations this year for the Tar Heels. In high school, he was the North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year. He earned a 4-star grade as a prospect, and he played basketball and ran track and field. And I do believe you can see that skill set on the football field when he's catching the ball and when he's running down the field. As a true freshman in 2022, he carried the ball 88 times for 401 yards and 6 scores. Those are very nice numbers for a true freshman. And as a sophomore 2 years ago, Matt, he popped. I picked him up early on 3 CFF teams, and he scampered for 1,504 yards and 15 touchdowns. He added 29 receptions for 222 yards and another score. He collected first-team All-ACC, second-team All-American, and he was a Doak Walker semifinalist. Matt, my only regret last summer, I had too many concerns about Drake May going to the NFL and turnover on the offensive line. I didn't have enough Omarion Hampton on my CFF teams. Like, that is I regret that so much. Why? He produced a career best 1,660 rushing yards. He literally was the Tar Heels offense. Anyone, if you watch any Tar Heels games, he was the offense. He bulldozed his way to All-American status. First team All-ACC. Doak Walker Award semifinalist for the second year in a row. He had a career best 38 receptions for 373 yards and 17 more total touchdowns. He rushed for more than 100 yards 10 times this year, surpassed 200 yards twice, and averaged 5.9 yards per carry. He leaves campus 9th in career rushing yards and 6th in rushing touchdowns. Matt, the resume is great. He's a big back with power and speed. What does your film analysis say about Omarion Hampton?
Yeah, let's take a look at the film here. You're going to see somebody who really pops off of the tape. He's got good burst off the line of scrimmage for somebody who's coming in at 220. He's not the fastest guy, John, but I like his ability to get to top speed quickly. That's what really jumped out on his film and really impressed me. Moving downfield, you've got some big man momentum. And as you can absolutely tell from Omarion Hampton tape, excellent contact balance. He is a physical force that dominates Georgia, or dominates ACC defenses and defenders there. He has ridiculous contact balance. It helps him gain a lot of yards after the catch. I like Hampton's vision as well. He's a decisive runner. He hits open gaps. That's something we don't talk about enough when we talk about running backs and ones who have good vision and are able to translate to the NFL. It's the decisiveness. He sees any amount of space and he hits it. Hampton does a great job of getting the most out of tight space. You talked about it. The North Carolina offensive line, a ton of turnover this past year in 2024. And let's be honest, even in 2023, not an excellent unit, often overwhelmed. Hampton was able to make the most out of very little, and I love to see that from the college level. It's something I find translates well. He's light on his feet for a guy of his size, and he's got good lateral agility. When you watch Hampton's tape, you're not going to see him used a ton in the passing game, but he has reliable hands. There's enough examples for me to feel confident in his pass catching ability. He's not going to be Alvin Kamara at the next level. He's not going to get 80 targets a season, but somebody who could absolutely handle 40 targets in a season. He catches 25 of those balls. He catches 30 of those balls, and he is going to be competing as a running back one for fantasy football purposes. So Omarion Hampton's tape, it's really well-rounded. It checks out, and there's a lot to be excited about from his tape. John, there's also a lot to be excited about from the resources available over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. If you join us, the link will be in the episode description. You're going to get access to our custom website with over 80 full rookie profile articles. You can go on, check out my full film breakdown on your favorite rookie prospect. Over 130 total rookies ranked in the Rookie Big Board. You also get access to the Devy rankings, the Dynasty rankings, personalized advice in the Rookie Big Board Discord, the 2025 Rookie Guide, a one-on-one draft consultation call, so much good stuff available for just $5 a month, or save 15% off with an annual membership. You got to join us. The link will be in the episode description. So that's the film review. He checks a whole lot of boxes when it comes to the eyes. What about the box scores, John? We still seeing check marks throughout?
Oh, absolutely. And just to give a little context, I have him graded higher than Zach Charbonnet and Joe Mixon. 6'0", 220 pounds. And Matt, I love his vision, but I think he has great feet for a big man. He sees it and then he hits it. And anyone who has listened to me, I grade from inside out. He's great between the tackles, Matt. He's really productive in traffic. I like him a ton. And according to PFF, one of my favorite stats, over the past 2 seasons, Matt, he has 139 missed tackles. That is very impressive, folks. He makes people miss. Scrimmage yards dominator, 39%. And Matt, was there anyone else on North Carolina you had to stop this year? And they didn't have Drake May at quarterback. He couldn't be stopped at times. 73 career receptions. Matt, you mentioned it. I think he's a good receiver. I think he's underrated. We will not put him in that Najee Harris standard that Matt and I like to talk about, but he's more than proficient as a receiver. His PFF yards after contact per attempt, a very healthy 4.35, and he had 45 runs over 10 plus yards for a man who weighs 220. Matt, he's an exciting prospect. What your fantasy footballers know.
Yeah, let's translate it, John. Let's put it all together for fantasy football value, because that is what it's all about here at the Rookie Big Board. You take the film, you take the stats, you put it all together for actionable advice in your rookie drafts. The draft capital is going to be so fascinating with Omarion Hampton. Heading into the first night of the NFL draft, Hampton's going to be one of the guys I am most excited to potentially hear his name called. He's not getting a lot of hype. We're only talking about really Ashton Genty as a first-round guy at this point in the draft process. I think by the time we get to April, we're going to be talking about Omarion Hampton as a guy who could hear his name called in the 20s. If not, it's going to be early in round 2. So he's going to get really coveted NFL draft capital for me. Day 1 late to day 2 mid. That's picks 21 to 50 overall. If you're not familiar with the way I do draft capital, if you haven't been watching the last couple of years, that means I don't care if he's taken at pick 21 or taken at pick 50. That's the same level of NFL draft capital for me. And for a running back, that's very, very good draft capital. For me, I believe that's going to translate to him being a really solid low-end running back 1, high-end running back 2. So I'm talking on a weekly basis. I think he's going to finish somewhere between running back 8 on the week and running back, let's say 14 or 15. Really consistent, not the highest ceiling type guy, but somebody who's probably going to get drafted into a nice volume load. let's say 220 to 240 touches as a rookie running back, which is excellent. That's a great volume load to project to a rookie running back. And somebody who's going to be a consistent, steady impact starter, a presence in your fantasy football lineup, similar to Kenneth Walker, right? And remember, Kenneth Walker, he missed some games this year, but in a fantasy points per game basis, he was a top 10 running back. That's the type of value that I'm going to slot Omarion Hampton into, a really steady presence in any fantasy football lineup. And that's going to lead to him being a mid-first round selection. 105 to 108 is where I'm projecting him to go in Superflex leagues. If he goes at 104, wouldn't shock me if he gets a juicy enough landing spot. But I think that mid-first round, and if you're sitting there at 106, 107, I got to tell you, if you get Omarion Hampton there, you're going to walk away from your rookie drafts very, very happy. Not as happy, though, as just if you're heading on over today to patreon.com/rookiebigboard and getting access to all of those resources I talked about, the rookie rankings, the dynasty rankings, the Devy rankings, the personalized advice via the Rookie Big Board Discord, all available for just $5 a month. We are going to continue. Class is going to be in session throughout this entire rookie draft season with the FF Educator, with the Gridiron Scholar. We're going to be back soon to break down another rookie prospect.